The real reason you struggle with unexplained evidence. The real reason you struggle to accept unexplained evidence isn't because you're not smart enough or not scientific enough. It's because you've been taught that science can explain everything, when the truth is that science has fundamental limits that most people never learn about. What I'm about to share will free you from the frustration of trying to force impossible evidence into scientific explanations that don't work, because I've discovered that acknowledging the limits of science is actually more scientific than pretending those limits don't exist. I'm Daniel Mackenzie, and after investigating 16 scientifically impossible murders, I've learned that true scientific thinking requires admitting when phenomena exceed our current understanding. For 15 years, I approached every impossible case believing that sufficient investigation would reveal logical explanations. I assumed that every mystery had a solution waiting to be discovered through better science, more advanced technology, or more thorough analysis. I was wrong. The mathematical murderer case taught me that some phenomena resist scientific explanation, not because our science is inadequate, but because the phenomena themselves might operate according to principles we haven't discovered yet. By the way, everything I'm sharing comes from actual scientific analysis and expert conclusions included in my book, The Impossible Files. Multiple scientists have studied these cases and reached the same humbling conclusion. Some evidence defies current scientific understanding. Dr. Richard Patterson was an insurance actuary who used advanced statistical models to predict mortality rates for life insurance policies. But Richard took his mathematical obsession further. He used his equations to identify people who had lived too long, according to his calculations. Then he killed them. Richard's victim selection process was purely mathematical. He would analyze demographic data, health records, lifestyle factors, and family history to calculate when each person should have died naturally. Anyone who had exceeded their statistical life expectancy became a target. The forensic psychology team initially dismissed Richard's method as delusional thinking, but when they examined his mathematical models, they found them to be sophisticated, accurate, and consistently predictive of actual mortality patterns. Dr. Margaret Santos, a statistician brought in to analyze Richard's equations, concluded his mathematical models were remarkably precise for predicting population-level mortality trends, despite being used for horrifically illegal purposes. This is just one of 16 cases where science meets its limits in my book, The Impossible Files. Link below. But what makes Richard's case truly disturbing is how his impossible mathematical precision forced experts to question the nature of statistical prediction in human mortality. Right now, you can read the complete mathematical murderer case and 15 other scientifically impossible crimes for just $2.99. I'm including the actual mathematical models, statistical analyses, and expert conclusions that show when science encounters its limits. But I'm raising the price to $9.99 next week because mathematics departments are studying Richard's equations to understand predictive modeling that exceeds current theoretical capabilities. Get it now while it's affordable. The real reason you struggle with unexplained evidence is that you've been taught to force every phenomenon into existing scientific frameworks, when sometimes the most honest scientific response is admitting that our frameworks are incomplete. True scientific thinking means being comfortable with mystery until better explanations emerge.